Hi everybody, welcome to CMP, long time no see. So today we're going to be concentrating mostly on printer maintenance, and today we're going to be looking at the CR10. So let's get into this. So as I was saying, we're going to be looking at 3D maintenance. We're going to be mostly looking at the CR10 for maintenance. Now, as you all know, this pandemic has been a lot of work for us in the 3D printing community. You might have been making, say, the masks, the ear savers, or you might have been printing out mask parts for the face shields. If you're one of those people, thanks for your help. You know, I myself was one of those people that was constantly printing 24/7, whipping them off, getting them off to a place, and then making about 10 more at home. Every time I had about 10 to 15, make the trip down, drop off a whole bunch of them, then head back home and then start getting the next batch off. So you all know how much fun that was, and you know, it was a lot of work, but I found that those shields got used, so I was really happy about that. But today I want to talk about maintenance. Now, you might think, why would I want to continue maintenance? Well, you got to remember is that you use this machine for a lot of stuff. And recently, the pandemic was really hard on my CR10. It was running 24/7. So I want to look at a few problems that I did notice as I was printing. I was starting to see some ringing in a few of my prints that I did after the fact. And I was like going, and just little things that I kind of noticed that I was like going, what should I look at and what should I fix? So I'm going to take you closer in. You won't see me as much. I'm going to show you what I did, the things I fixed on this, because the video I did before this, that video is horrible. And I want to go through it again and just show you what I fixed on my printer and give you an easy rundown so that you know what you need to look at. So we'll bring it in up close and we'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to look at the X-axis. First of all, I'm going to pull this out. This is just plastic they put in there just to keep the V-slot from getting stuff inside of it, and adds a nice color to it. So I printed this piece off. This is called the belt tight, and the idea is just slide onto your X-axis like so. You just slide this over to one side over here, so it matches up with your tensioner that's already on your CR10. This will also work for the Ender 3 too. You just make sure it's tight. Then what you would do is you take your Allen key. You put your Allen key in here. You would loosen it off and then tighten it while you press pressure on here. So I'll grab it from down here and push on it. And this will slightly move a little bit. Then you just retighten it back up. And then you just slide this back and take it off. It's a little tight at first, but it does a great job of allowing you to push this idler over and get a better tight fit. Instead of buying a tensioner, printing a tensioner, and then with most tensioners, they do recommend that you buy a new belt and that you buy a bigger belt, and this just makes this a lot easier. One printed piece. Another thing that you may want to look at is your wheels. If your wheels aren't tight on the V-slot, here's where you can actually get into your V-slot. It's through this hole right here. And then you just lock your Allen key in like so. Then you use your wrench that you got with your Creality printer. Now, in my situation, my wrenches got destroyed. They were bent and they did not hold, and every time I tried to use them, they didn't work. In my defense, also, I have channel locks that are that size, but if you got even an adjustable wrench, will come in handy when you need to adjust your eccentric nut so that you can get your wheels aligned with the rail. And on this side, they've already been done too. Once you get that all done, just tuck this back in like so. Now on the Ender, this is the same process you would do. So just keep in mind that even if you have like a Ender 3, this is the same process. And then I would move this back and forth, see how the belt feels. If the belt feels tight, then I wouldn't worry too much. If it feels a little loose still, I might go back here, press again, try to tighten it a little bit more, and try to get the right tightness. But you don't want to tighten it over tight. If you over tighten this, your carriage will have problems moving back and forth. So keep that in mind. Also is a good time that if you have your Bowden tube, if you're going to change out your Bowden tube, this is a great time to change out your Bowden tube. I'm using Capricorn, so I don't really need to change it. It's been in great shape. Plus, I'm also using a red extruder. This is one of those all-metal extruders. You can get these, they're like 20 bucks on eBay or on Amazon. But something to keep in mind is that sometimes you might want to take this apart and clean it. Sometimes debris can get stuck in there. All you have to do is unscrew all these bolts, take off the red part. Then all you have to do is you'll just have your extruder, and if it's got stuff stuck in it, just take a can of air and just blow it out. It's very simple to do, and then you can just put that back on. Another thing to worry about is that I'm going to talk about here. I'm not going to do it right now, but these two screws, you would unscrew these, take off the top rail, take off your X-axis, and then you have access to your screw over here, the your Z screw. Just turn this in such a way that you guys can see it here. I'll show you guys in a second. So what you want to do is, like I said, you take off the top here. Then you can take your screw out and easily clean the screw. I recommend that you take the screw off from the decoupler, if you can remove it from the coupler. If you got one of the couplers like I have, which the bottom and top come apart at the bottom here, which unfortunately you guys can't see, so I do apologize for that. Let me see if I can zoom out for you guys here so you can see a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so this thing right here, that's what I'm talking about. This will come apart, easy to pull apart. And you just take the screw off, clean up your screw. The best thing to use is WD-40, believe it or not. And then what I like to do is when it's all set and clean, I like to also add some, I take white lithium grease because I find white lithium grease seems to be the best so far I've used. And I just go through the rod and just put a light coat of lithium on it, put it back down, put back on my X-axis, put on my top bar, and make sure everything's okay. As I was reviewing my printer and looking at it, I noticed I was missing an end cap. These little Creality 3D caps fall off so easily that it becomes annoying when these things happen. So I found a print that actually fits that hole. It's this one right here. Now the only thing with this print, getting a camera shot, is it's so hard to print these things because they're so small. So what I found with this print itself, and I will have a link in the description, I had to fiddle around with it first to see where I wanted it. Then I took a pair of pliers because I don't have a hammer kicking around it right now. Well, there's a hammer up there, but it's not the right type of hammer I want. And I just want to lightly tap it in. And it just fits fleshly inside. I will have a description of where you can print this in the description down below. And then you just put that in, and then bang, you have your brand new stop right there. A couple other things I want to go over here, and I will show it to you right now. Okay, sorry about the shaky handwork, I do apologize. So as you can see, this is my Y belt. It's nice and tight right now. If it wasn't tight, what I would do is unscrew these screws, undo those screws, use that belt tightening that little belt tight, put it on one of the axes here, and just help pull the Y close, and then tighten these screws up again, and then test to make sure the belt was nice and tight. Okay, apologize for the free holding, but I wanted to point out something. Sometimes you might want, for you ender users, you might want to print V-slot cover. There's tons of them out there that will cover these up. so you don't have to worry about debris or anything getting into them. It is not needed, but you know, if you're like me and you just can't stand seeing crap and everything else get in there, it might be worthwhile, you know, doing and taking care of. Okay, well, I hope all these techniques that I've gone through is helpful for you. Now, yes, there might have been one or two I might have missed. That comes with territory. That comes with the territory. But if there's something that you recommend that people should do, leave them down in the comments down below. Remember, if you like the content, remember to subscribe and like it. Other than that, I want to thank you so much for watching. And until next time, everybody, stay safe and have fun and keep on printing.